Lauren, thank you so much. Yes, here at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, we have the introductory news conference for our 3 new Hall of Famers. Second straight year that we have 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers, and then another Hall of Famer in Billy Wagner, who gets in the 10th and final year in the voting. So an exciting day. We have a lot of media members, over 80 media members here in the Grandstand Theater at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Many from Japan, of course, as Ichiro Suzuki. Ichiro is inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, the first Japanese-born player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He becomes the 18th player born outside of the United States to be inducted and given sports' highest honor. He gets a 99.7% of the ballot. That's 1 vote shy. CC Sabathia resounding 82%, and Billy Wagner, 10th and final year, gets over 82% as well, and a strong showing by Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones, possibly for next year as well, as they will come back for the voting next year. But here, though, again, a celebration of international baseball. Ichiro comes in, and again, there were questions when Ichiro was first coming to the United States, even though he was a 7-time batting champion in Japan, 3-time MVP. There were questions. Can a position player be an outstanding player in the United States? Take a look at his first 10 years in the major leagues. The answer would be yes. He would average a .331 batting average with 224 hits per season, playing a very old-school dead ball baseball style. Total bases, though, shows the power. With all the games that he played continually, I think he averaged 158, 159 games a season. He's averaging 291 total bases per season, playing a very different game from a United States game, an American game that had changed drastically to home runs and strikeouts and a lower batting average. Ichiro did it very differently with a tremendous arm, with great fielding as well. And I believe we're ready to go for Ichiro, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner. We will send it down there here at the Grandstand Theater. John Shestakowski, Media Relations Director for the Baseball Hall of Fame, will take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to all of you here at the National Baseball Hall of Fame's beautiful Grandstand Theater for a very special day where we will be introducing the newest members of the Baseball Hall of Fame elected by the Baseball Writers Association of America. I'd also like to welcome everyone watching live on MLB Network and online. From your right to left, it's my pleasure to introduce Jack O'Connell, Secretary-Treasurer of the Baseball Writers Association of America, Jane Forbes Clark, Chairman of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, Class of 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame electee CC Sabathia, Class of 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame electee Billy Wagner, Alan Turner, who will be assisting with interpretation between Japanese and English, and Class of 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame electee Ichiro Suzuki, and the President of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, Josh Rawich. Also here today, we have very special guests with us, and among them are Ichiro's wife, Yumiko, and CC's wife, Amber. And we thank you all for joining us. And also Billy's wife, Sarah. Welcome to each of you. I'd now like to invite Jack O'Connell to give some opening remarks, so you can go right ahead, Jack.
Thank you, Shesta. Hello, everyone. Back in 2001, I phoned Ichiro Suzuki to tell him that he was the American League winner of the Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year Award, and he took that call while he was sitting in a room here at the Hall of Fame. And the only reason he was not unanimous that year was because one Cleveland writer voted for CC Sabathia. And now they here are together, teammates forever, on baseball's most hallowed ground. They made the grade in their first year of eligibility. At the other end of the spectrum is Billy Wagner, who finally, in his 10th and last year on the ballot, achieved the stature he so richly deserves. He shares that difficult journey with the likes of Jim Rice, Edgar Martinez, Tim Raines, Red Ruffing, Dazzy Vance, and Larry Walker. Pretty special company, that. And it was another great turnout by my colleagues, a 98.5% return on the ballots. I know the results may not please everyone, but that figure indicates how seriously we take this responsibility. And special mention to the great staff that Jane and Josh have here in Cooperstown. John Shostakofsky and his co-workers, Craig Muter and Caroline McGraw, are the engines that make this process run smoothly. Gentlemen, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Jack. And now, Josh, if you'd like to give a few remarks.
Sure. Thank you, Shest. On behalf of Hall of Fame Chairman Jane Forbes Clark, the whole board, and all of the staff that Jack just referenced, it's really wonderful to have everybody here today. We want to thank Jack and the baseball writers for really the diligence that they do use in going through this. We know it is not an easy process, but we know how seriously they take it, and we thank all of the writers who are a part of that process. Also, a quick thank you to Mark Moran of Ernst & Young, who helps with the tabulation of the vote. Ernst & Young has been doing this for 3 decades. They do a tremendous job, and we're very thankful to them. On a day like today, we are obviously reminded just how hard it is to get into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. If you think about how many people, every kid that ever dreamed of playing baseball, there's only been 23,000, just over 23,000, that have actually gotten to play one day in the big leagues. And of that group, only 278%, just over 1%, actually get a plaque in the gallery. Today, as we all know, we're welcoming the newest members to this team, and I just want to say a quick word about each of them. The man directly to my left had more than 3,000 hits in the big leagues, and all of that came after he had already won 7 batting titles in Japan. He was a 10-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove Award winner, and he's one of only 7 players who have 3,000 hits and 500 stolen bases in the big leagues. He's the first member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame to come from Japan, and as Jack mentioned, he is no stranger to this place, as he's been here many, many times when he was an active player because of how much he cares about the game's history. Ichiro, welcome back. 2 over from him, you see one of the most dominant relief pitchers ever to play this game, 422 saves. He struck out a third of the guys he faced in the big leagues. That's a mind-blowing statistic. Of any pitcher in Major League history with 900 innings or more, he's got the lowest opponent batting average and the highest strikeout rate ever. Billy, it's such an honor to have you here with us in Cooperstown. And next to him, of course, is the guy who came to Cooperstown a few years ago. He actually pitched in the Hall of Fame game back in 2002 when he was still in the minors. But he came to Cooperstown and for the first time got to walk into the plaque gallery a couple years ago when he was with one of his son's youth team that was playing here. And as he walked into the gallery, you could see the look on his face of just how special this place was and the idea that someday he might actually have a plaque there. Well, CC, that day has now come. He struck out more than 3,000 batters in his career, made 6 All-Star teams, won a Cy Young Award, and helped lead his team to 10 different playoffs, including the 2009 World Series championship with the Yankees. CC, it is so great to have you back here today. These are unbelievable resumes. They're incredibly deserving of their induction, which will take place this summer here on July 27th at the Clark Sports Center. Gentlemen, you are now teammates on the greatest team ever assembled alongside Dick Allen and Dave Parker, the class of 2025. So with that, we would like to ask each of you to please stand and put on the jersey and the cap of the last team you'll ever join.
It wasn't that easy to get on the other day. I'm not sure how it's going to go today. This thing will go well.
Got it. Like that. Nervous.
Couple photos.
You guys want to slide in here? What do you think?
We'll do a photo with just the 3 first.
You need to come in front of the chairs.
You need to
Come
come
in
in
front
front
of the chairs.
Yeah. And then we'll do one more with Jane and Josh. Wonderful. Thank you. And wonderful. And next, we'd like to ask the new members of the Hall of Fame to share a few opening remarks, and we can begin with Ichiro.
こんにちは。現役選手として7回クーパーズタウンに訪ねているんですけれども、8回目の今回ホール・オブ・フェイマーとしてここに戻ってこられたことを大変光栄に思っています。投票していただいた記者の方々、ありがとうございました。どうやら一人投票してくれなかった方がいるようですが、ぜひ自宅に招待して一緒にお酒を飲みたいので名乗り出て、シアトルまでお越しください。今日じゃよろしくお願いいたします。
Hello. I've been coming to the Hall of Fame as a player 7 times, and this is my 8th time here in the Hall of Fame. And what an honor it is for me to be here as a Hall of Famer. This is just a very special moment. I was able to receive many votes from the writers, and grateful for them. But there's one writer that I wasn't able to get a vote from. I would like to invite him over to my house, and we'll have a drink together, and we'll have a good chat. Very, very grateful to be here, and thank you.
Thank you, Ichiro. Billy, go right ahead.
Obviously it's a long time coming, but worth the wait. To the writers who helped me get to this point, I'm very honored and thank you a lot. I know it's getting here is a difficult situation, especially as a reliever, but to be in a situation with this group, I feel very humble and very blessed. So, it's been a long time, but, it was worth it. Thank you.
Thanks, Billy. Go right ahead, Cece.
Just want to say thank you to the writers that voted me in. It's been a surreal, past couple days, but excited to be here at the Hall of Fame. Excited to be able to call myself a Hall of Famer, to be able to go on with Ichiro and to be able to go on with Billy. Is really exciting. So I'm looking forward to this summer.
Wonderful. Thanks, Cece. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to begin the Q&A portion. So if you have a question, please raise your hand, and either Craig or Caroline will bring you a microphone. When you do have the microphone, please state your name and affiliation and indicate who your question is intended for. As I noted before, we will begin questions in English and then allow Cece, Sabathia, and Billy Wagner to depart from the dais for a Japanese language only portion of the program. Please be sure to ask any questions of Cece and Billy during the English language portion. The Japanese language portion will not be translated. All right, so now we are ready to begin. If there are questions, and we can begin down on the left here.
Hi, Nate Macaborski from Yankees Magazine. This question is for CeCe Sabathia. CeCe, you've mentioned that when you were a free agent going into 2009, you were kind of nervous about coming to the East Coast and being a Yankee. How long was it before you knew that you had made the right decision, and just how much does it mean to you to have a Yankees cap on that play?
Yeah, I think, going into the offseason, I just heard all of the stuff that was going on, the turmoil in the Yankees clubhouse. And, I came from a place in Cleveland and Milwaukee where that was the most important thing. And it just didn't seem like it was that important there. But having a chance to talk to Cashman and him explaining to me that's why he wanted me to come there pretty quick, like 2 or 3 days into spring training, me and Andy are running in the outfield. I get a chance to meet Jeter. We hanging out and, the pitching staff. We're going to dinners, we're going to basketball games together. So it didn't take long at all before I felt like this was the right decision to make. And, I'm just thankful for Cash that he, was really persuasive, and super excited that I had a chance to play 11 years in the Bronx with that uniform on, and excited to have that hat on my plaque, for sure.
And next, Sweeney.
Sweeney Murdy with MLB.com. Congratulations to all of you. CC and Ichiro especially, it was wonderful to cover you for a few years and get to know you guys. Congratulations. Billy, we crossed paths only a few times, but honored as well. Congratulations to all of you. My question is for CC and Ichiro. You noted earlier you both were in the same rookie class, so you spent an entire decade competing against each other and then got to be teammates for a couple of years. I wonder if both of you could tell me your impressions of each other as opponents, and then maybe how it changed or what you learned about each other when you became teammates.
Yeah, we talked about this last night, and I was telling them the one thing I remember about Ichi is obviously, he stole my Rookie of the Year. But after that, 2006, I'm kind of plugging along. I'm, 6 years into my big league career, and me and Carl Willis are trying to figure out a put-out pitch. I'm trying to, get a pitch. When I get to 2 strikes, I was throwing like a big loopy curveball. So we were trying to, he was trying to teach me how to throw a cutter. And we went down to the bullpen in Oakland after a start, and he taught me how to throw his version of a cutter. And it came out to be this 82, 83 mile an hour slider that I was like, oh, this thing is awesome. Like, I'm taking this right into the game. And we go to Seattle my next start, and I take it to the game, and I get the 2 strikes on Ichi, and he hits it off the window. So then I'm like, oh, no, I'm getting outs with it, come back around his next at-bat, throw it to him again, first pitch, he hits it out again. So he was just, one of the best players of our generation, always loved battling him. And, 19 years of, like you said, 10 years of competing against him and then being a teammate was always a lot of fun for me.
まず敵として対戦していた時はもうとにかく淡々とプレーする選手だなと、感情が見えないピッチャーとしていいピッチャーであったことは誰もが分かっているんですけど、今なかなかやっぱ見ない、現代では見ない選手の一人ですね。敵なのにすごく気持ちがいい、やっていて気持ちのいい選手でした。まず敵としては。
First of all, as an opponent, when we face each other, he was somebody that went about his business. He just didn't show much emotions out there. In this day and age of the game, it's rare to see somebody as a competitor that he was. But really, it was. Of course, he was an opponent, so he was an enemy, but he was somebody that was really somebody that I really enjoyed watching and also facing because of the fact that he was such a professional out there and just went about his business the right way.
ヤンキースで一緒になった時は、やっぱりその敵として見てたとやっぱり同じだと思いました。味方としてもどんな時も淡々とプレーする、感情を見せない、もうすごくこのCCのためだったらやっぱり勝ちゲームにしたいという思いにさせてくれるピッチャーでした。
And as a teammate, and he was the same way. Went about his business, didn't show much emotions. He was somebody that we wanted to win for, wanted to make sure CC got a win. He was just that type of player that really made us want to win for him.
Our next question is on the right, from Jason Stark.
Jason Stark from The Athletic. First off, congratulations to all 3 of you. It was just a pleasure to watch you play and to cover you. Ichiro, this is for you. I know that you've spoken about how the Hall of Fame has changed you and the way you look at the history of baseball. I wonder if you think that you have changed the Hall of Fame in some way, and the Hall of Fame now in Japan will be a shrine in a way that it never was before?
ホール・オブ・フェイムがイチローさんを変えたっていうふうに聞きましたけど、何かイチローさんがホール・オブ・フェイムを変えたとか、日本のホール・オブ・フェイムもそうですけど、イチローさんがこう変えたっていうふうに言いますか、日本のその。
その質問に対して僕が答えることはできないですね。これ僕以外の第三者が決めることだと思うので、僕は答えられないです。
I'm not able to answer that because, other people voted me in, and other people decide how I was, and so that's a tough one to answer.
もし僕が何かを変えた、僕自身が変えたってここで言ってたら、おかしな人だと思いますね。僕は。
And if I was up here saying, "Man, I changed the Hall of Fame," you would think I'm crazy.
Next question will come from second row on the left. Just one moment for the microphone. Yes. Hey, just wait for the microphone. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Paul Post. I'm with Sports Collectors Digest. If each of the inductees could please briefly answer, the Hall of Fame has several artifacts of each of your careers. What things do you have at home that mean the most to you personally from your careers? Jerseys, bats, balls, and did you collect things from other players as well?
I'll give them a break. I'm a big collector, so I have a lot of Yankee lore. Crazy to believe I'm a Braves fan, but I'm an avid collector of jerseys and baseball, so I do have a Babe Ruth ball and Cy Young photos and Mickey Mantle and DiMaggio and Sandy Koufax. So I have a lot of priceless artifacts in mine. So the game of baseball goes a long ways in my family.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of different things throughout my career that I kept, but a lot of Yankee stuff. Obviously, had a chance to, watch Mo, watch Derek get 3,000 hits. I watched A-Rod get 3,000 hits. So, being around, all those different, historic moments and having artifacts from it is pretty cool. I think the coolest thing I have is Mariano's cleats.
僕はですね、現役時代をずっと一緒に過ごして旅立った一休という犬がいるんですけど、一休は実はフラッグを作ってもらっていて、ホール・オブ・フェイムに入っているペットはボブ・フェラーの猫とうちの一休しかいないらしいんですね。そのプラッグすごく大事です。
First off, I have a dog that was with me throughout my whole career, that I very much cherished, EQ, and there's a plaque of him in the Hall of Fame plaque, and I'm hearing that him, the dog, our dog, and then Bob Feller's cat are the only animals that have the Hall of Fame plaque. So that's something that I cherish that I have.
That's great. Our next question will also be second row on the left. Bill, just one moment for the microphone.
Congratulations, guys. I'm Bill Francis from the Baseball Hall of Fame. This is for CC and Billy. You guys are on a 2-hour tour this morning of 150 years of baseball history. What did you come away with? What was your sense of the institution after being on that tour today?
It was, it's always educational anytime you get a chance to walk through the museum. Like Josh said, this was the third time I think I've been to the museum, but the first time I've been on a curated, tour. So just having a chance to, walk through the Souls of Game exhibit again, see some of the different jerseys and, the Latin American exhibit is awesome. Seeing some of the early, the way the gloves that the guys used, or the, catching or the helmets that the catchers used, it's pretty cool. It's the history of the game, and to be able to, be a part of that and be in this museum forever is something that's special to me.
Exactly. I think it was looking back, and you go through that and you're looking at the names on the boxes as you go through, and you just realize how much bigger the game really is and if you really truly belong in this. And so going in and looking at the bats and the lockers, and just the transition of the game and how, each step of the way it just made it so great, and to bring us to where we are today, it's fascinating just to be, like CC said, to be part of the history of this, and but it just puts you into a really small space when you realize that you're standing there with the Mickey Mantles and Joe DiMaggio's and Sandy Koufax's. It really makes you feel humble.
That's great. Our next question will be towards the back, standing up in white shirt.
Hi, Nick Richardson with the Oneonta Daily Star. This question is for Billy. Your career involved you having to wait till the end of the game to come in, so maybe a little bit appropriate that you had to wait till your last ballot. And I'm sure a lot of people saw the video of you receiving the call. Just
Oh, we're not crying again. So we're not doing that.
Just talk about a little about the emotions of receiving that call and finally getting your place here in Cooperstown.
It's humbling. It's special to be the first in Division III, Southwest Virginia. To be on a stage where you're with greats, it's humbling. I don't know if it's deserving, but, to sit out 10 years and have your career scrutinized and stuff, it's tough. The 10th year was to be expected, the toughest, but as I'm sitting here, it was worth it. So it's never been easy for me to do anything. So to get here in 10 tries, it's a blessing. So yeah, it's really emotional. It's hard to sit through these things, but I hope that people look back and they see the endurance it took to deal with these things, and I hope kids around see that there is a chance that you can get here, and it is possible, and the size and where you're from doesn't matter, and I think Pedro said it first, but if I can get here, anyone can get here, and I'm just very humbled, and so I think those 10 years makes you reflect on a lot of the battles you had to fight to get here.
Next, we will go back in the white shirt, standing up.
Mike White, WFCZ Fox 40 out of Binghamton. First off, congratulations to all three of you on 3 incredible careers and this incredible honor. And this question is for all 3 of you. Obviously, when you come in as a rookie, it could be a little frightening just in the majors, but now knowing that you're sitting here today in the Hall of Fame, what's that one thing you guys would say to your rookie selves, knowing that you'll be sitting here today and being honored with this incredible achievement?
Me and E.T. was talking about this last night at dinner, and I think the biggest thing I would tell myself is to be patient. I came up at 20 years old, and I wanted to be this right away. I wanted it all. I wanted to be the Roger Clemens, the Pedro. I wanted all of that, and it took me a while to get to that point to be the ace of the staff. So I think for me, looking back at my younger self and early in my career, I would just tell myself to be patient and stick with it because it's coming.
I never thought that far ahead. To be honest with you, I was happy to be in the big leagues, and so when I got there, I just paid attention to Bagwell and Biggio, and so I did what they told me to do, and my job was to pitch, get 3 outs, no matter how long it took. So I don't think I'd had any advice except throw more strikes earlier, so I didn't have to throw so many pitches earlier in the innings, and mix in more breaking balls. But I didn't think that far ahead. I was very fortunate to be there, and to be a closer was a stroke of luck because I had 2 injuries ahead of me. So I was a little more naive than most guys that came in. I was just happy to be there.
当時の自分に、言いたいこととすれば、怖がらないで、自分が信じた道に飛び込んでほしいということです。人間関係いろいろあります。で、良かれと思って、結果でも惑わされることあります、人によって。でもその信じている自分がいれば、自分を作っていれば、自分が信じた道に飛び込んでいけると思うんですよね。それを僕はしてきたつもりですけど、迷いなくそれをしてほしい、それが言いたいことですね。
I would love to tell him, believe in yourself, not have any fear. You're going to have many things come your way, many relationships that will come your way, but I feel like I did that, but I would love to tell him, you're on the path, you're doing the right things, and make sure that you believe it and that you keep going on that path.
We have time for just a couple more in English, and we're going to the back left.
Zach Grady, WBNG Sports Director, Binghamton. First and foremost, congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your time. My question for Ichiro. In a career full of firsts, this moment, what does it mean to you to be the first Major League Baseball player born in Japan to be elected here into the Hall of Fame?
初のホールフェイム、それはどういうことですか？
おそらくそれは時間が経ってから分かるんではないかと思います。まだ、21日に報告を受けて、今日までもう時間に追われて、なかなかその今の気持ちをかみしめることができていません。で、今日、博物館に来て、これからじわじわと湧いてくるとは思うんですけれども、おそらく5年10年、20年、もしくは僕がいなくなる時にそれを実感するんではないか。何かがこの今日の日が、この出来事がの意味がひょっとしたらあったのかもしれないと感じられるのは先のことだと思います。
It's still so new to me. Just got the call on 21st, and now I'm here. It's been so busy, but it's been hard to process, how what this really means. And I felt like maybe 5-10 years from now, I could look back and maybe we'll be able to say, this is what it meant, or even when I'm past. But this is something that I'm trying to process but I think I'm going to be able to do that once more time has passed, and I'll be able to realize what kind of impact it had on me and with everybody.
And our final question in the English language portion will be on the left-hand side in the middle.
Steve Jones, Daily Sentinel. Hopefully all you guys will have something you can chime in about this. I was wondering, with all the changes in the game recently, the new rules, if any of them specifically resonate with you guys about what has changed that maybe would benefit you guys or make it more challenging?
Pitch clock. I love the pitch clock. I wish it was around when I was pitching, because I always felt like hitters were the ones that were holding up the game. Taking too long to get in the box. I'm on the mound ready to go. So I love the pitch clock as a fan, and I think I would have loved it as a pitcher.
I agree. I think the pitch clock is great. Granted, it had 2 pitches, so the pitch clock wasn't an issue. But the speed of the game has gotten better. I think since my son started to play, it's going to watch a game and it being in a 2:45 is a little bit better than a 3.5, and it forces pitchers to be more in the strike zone. I don't think I would have pitched as well, knowing that the strike zone, you could actually argue balls and strikes now. I think that would have been it would be difficult now, but to me, I think the game still is great as it always has been.
僕にとっては、ウエストイーストのストライクゾーンがすごく狭いことは羨ましいです。いいなと思います。 審判は気の毒なこともあるし、ピッチャーはなかなか難しいだろうなという想像もします。あとは、残念なこととしては見ている人たちの感情が奪われているシーンも多いと思いますね。感情を表したいのに、例えば申告敬遠で、投げない、もう申告して一塁に歩いていくっていうのは、次の選手がネクストサークルの選手がドキドキしたり、球場全体がざわざわと雰囲気が変わったり、そういう、感情がなくなってしまった、そういうことを、いくつか残念なことがあります。
For me, the strike zone, the outside and inside pitches that are not given now, I wish I could have played in that era. But one thing that I do, the changes that they've made that I kind of not like is, one is the intentional walk. There's some rules that have come into place where the emotions of the game has kind of been taken away. When you have an intentional walk, the crowd starts to, get into it, and also the guy on the on-deck circle, you're starting to think that the nerves is everything. You have a lot of time to think, and so the emotions of, especially that intentional walk, is something that I wish that it didn't get taken away.
And with that, we will now pause momentarily before beginning a Japanese language portion of this program. Cece and Billy, thank you for joining us today. And following the conclusion of this news conference, the next media opportunity will be
what a special day to celebrate the game's greats. Lauren Shahadi, John Heyman with you inside Studio K. We watched the Hall of Fame press conference together on MLB Network from Cooperstown. Teammates on the greatest team ever.
今日は本当に特別な日です。野球の歴史に名を刻む偉大な選手たちが、ついに名誉ある野球殿堂の一員として迎えられる瞬間を目撃しました。イチロー選手、サバシア選手、ビリー、ワグナー選手、この3人の伝説的な選手たちがその功績により、野球界で最も権威ある場所である野球殿堂に名を刻むことになったのです。まさに、彼らがこれまで歩んできた道のりは壮大であり、今日のこの瞬間がどれほど感動的なものであるか、言葉では表現しきれません。イチロー選手は日本から初めて野球殿堂入りを果たした選手であり、彼の努力と成果は単なる日本国内にとどまらず、世界中の野球ファンにインスピレーションを与え続けています。イチロー選手の献身的なプレーと驚異的なバッティング技術は、まさに野球界の頂点を極めるものであり、その道のりは容易ではなかったことでしょう。彼のような選手が野球殿堂に名を連ねることは、日本のスポーツ史にとっても誇りであり、その功績は決して忘れられません。イチロー選手が MLB に登場したとき、多くの人々が、日本から来た選手がアメリカの大リーグで成功できるのかという疑問を持っていましたが、イチロー選手はそのすべての疑念を打ち破り、7度の打撃王、3度の MVP、そして10度のゴールドグラブを獲得しました。彼のスタイルはまさにアメリカの野球とは一線を画しており、長打を狙うことよりも安打を積み重ね、コツコツと結果を出していくことで、数々の記録を打ち立てました。彼のプレーは、まさに、野球とはチームプレーであり、自己犠牲の精神が大切だ、と教えてくれました。サバシア選手もまた、偉大な左腕ピッチャーとして、その存在感を世界中に知らしめました。3000奪三振を超え、数々のポストシーズンをそよい抜いた彼の奇跡は、まさに圧倒的なものであり、ニューヨーク、ヤンキースにおける彼の活躍は忘れられません。その熱い魂と、どんな場面でも諦めない姿勢は、ファンに強い影響を与え、次世代の選手たちにも大きな勇気を与えてきました。彼は投手としての限界を何度も打破し、たとえ苦しい時期でも常に前向きな姿勢を崩さず、チームを引っ張っていきました。選手は特に2009年のワールドシリーズでの活躍が印象深いです。彼の力強いピッチングがチームを優勝へと導き、ヤンキースの誇りを取り戻しました。選手のように何度も厳しい局面を乗り越え、チームのために戦い続けた選手が野球殿堂に名を刻むことは、野球の精神を体現することに他なりません。 そして、ビリー、ワグナー選手、彼は最も困難な役割の一つであるクローザーとして、何年にもわたる厳しい戦いを続け、ついに野球殿堂にその名を刻みました。彼の成績は素晴らしく、特に奪三振率の高さは他の追随を許しません。その強烈なピッチングスタイルと、試合を締めくくるプレッシャーの中で冷静に投げ続けた姿は、まさにクローザーとしての真髄を体現しています。ビリー選手は、常に最も厳しい瞬間に立たされることが多かったですが、その中でも圧倒的なパフォーマンスを見せ、数々の勝利をもたらしました。彼のような選手がこれほどの栄誉を手にすることは、まさにスポーツ界の奇跡であり、その努力は何千人、何万のファンに感動を与えました。このような偉大な選手たちが、共に野球殿堂入りを果たすことは、野球ファンにとっても、また選手自身にとっても、かけがえのない瞬間です。そして、彼らが示してくれた、不屈の精神や、仲間と共に戦う姿勢は、これからの野球にとっても大きな教訓となることでしょう。彼らの物語は、勝利を目指して常に努力を惜しまなかったこと、そしてどんな困難にも立ち向かい続けたことを証明しています。これからも、私たちはこの精神を大切にし、次の世代に伝えていくべきだと強く感じています。今、私たちはこの素晴らしい瞬間を皆さんと共に共有できたことを、心から嬉しく思います。これからも、このような感動的な瞬間を一緒に楽しみ、支え合っていきましょう。私たちのチームは、これからも強く、そして共に戦い続けます。皆さんも、ぜひ私たちと共にこの旅を続けてください。野球の未来は、あなたたちの手の中にあります。私たちはこの偉大な選手たちの足跡をたどり、彼らから学んだことを日々の生活やスポーツに生かしていきたいと思います。彼らの努力がどれだけ大変であったか、どれほど多くの困難を乗り越えてきたかを理解すればするほど、私たちも一歩一歩の努力を惜しまないようになるでしょう。そして、その努力を通じて、どんな困難にも立ち向かう勇気を持ち、仲間と共に進んでいけるようになります。もし、この素晴らしい瞬間をさらに多くの方々と分かち合いたいと思ったら、ぜひ私たちのチャンネルを登録してください。あなたの応援が、私たちにとって何よりの力になります。そして、コメントであなたの思いをシェアして、次回の動画で取り上げてほしいテーマや選手を教えてください。あなたの声が、次のストーリーのインスピレーションになるかもしれません。これからも、一緒に野球の熱い情熱を分かち合い、共に応援していきましょう。次回もぜひお楽しみに。あなたの応援が、私たちにとって最大の励みです。野球を愛するすべての人々が、共に感動し、共に喜びを分かち合えるような場所を作り上げていきましょう。